In the first objection, the author responded and said that the objection confuses intention with aim or purpose, and it is intention that brings us properly within the reach of the criminal. And he also says that it is true that a mugger aims to harm his victim in a way that a corporate executive who maintains an unsafe workplace does not, but the corporate executive acts knowingly, recklessly, or negligently nonetheless. So he states that these are all states of awareness and violation that make his actions appropriately subject to criminal law. He also said, what we intend is not just what we want to make happen. So for the second objection, the author's response were that the defenders that were going over these were largely right in believing that direct personal assault is terrifying in a way that indirect personal harm is not. And he also granted the defenders their point in that direct assault is usually more terrifying than indirect harm. If does not follow that indirect harm should not be treated as a non-criminal regulatory matter. For example, if someone suffocated to death in a collapsed mine or living in a fear of cancer spreading and become fatal, it may well be as terrifying as some direct personal assaults. So nonetheless, the author was actually agreeing in a way to what the defenders were actually trying to use as an example. So for the third objection, the author did say that the defenders didn't directly imply we shouldn't identify the risks that are excessive and use the law to protect innocent people from, but he also said no doubt that we must tolerate the risks that are necessary ingredients of productive activity, but this doesn't imply we shouldn't identify the risks that are excessive and use to protect innocent people from them. The defender's claim is that indirect harm, such as ones that result from lax safe measures, are part of legitimate productive activities, whereas one-on-one crimes generally are not. If those risks are great enough, the fact that they may further productive or otherwise legitimate activity is no reason against making them crimes if that's what's necessary to protect workers, consumers, and communities. So the authors actually didn't really, they weren't really in favor for the fourth objection that the defenders were trying to do. So he did state that the defenders exaggerated the free consent, which consumers buy products and with workers take on the risks of their own jobs. So workers can choose jobs only where there are openings, and workers can choose among what type of dangers they want to be around, such as work sites, but they rarely choose to face any danger when it comes to the workplace. But the defenders were trying to say that every worker has its choice on what type of job they want to do, whether if it's dangerous or not, it's their choice and it's their consent.